Welcome to the Ignition News, your unfiltered, uncensored source for the actual truth in what is happening in the United States of America and around the world. We are not bought by the billionaires. We are here to be your source of truth in a time where truth matters more than it ever has. Be sure to follow along with your favorite platform on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Substack. Let's get busy with the truth. Welcome to the Ignition News. Let's ignite.
Will be better off when they're when they're not in control. That's the nicest thing I can say. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ignition News. It is 2626, February 6th, 2026. We have a lot of important stories to talk about today. Let me tell you something right up front. If you're waiting for this to get better on its own, you are actually part of the problem. We're going to cover 5 stories today. They're not separate issues. They're symptoms of the same sick disease. It's a government that has stopped pretending to serve the people, a president who thinks that infrastructure is a branding opportunity, and an administration building concentration camps on American soil. Capped off with tech billionaires promising us to pay for the jobs their machines are about to eliminate. This is the end game of American democracy, folks. What happens next is up to us, and it matters if you're going to choose to do something about it or not. Let's get into the number one story. Welcome to the Ignition News, everyone, your daily trusted news source for uncensored, unfiltered news. I'm going to take a bit of a pause to remind you that you do need to follow me on your favorite platforms. TikTok is becoming increasingly hostile. We are broadcasting live on Twitch, YouTube, Substack, and TikTok. But you need to go ahead and find us at The Ignition News. If you're not sure where to find us, just go to theignition.news and you'll find us on all of your favorite platforms. Good morning, everyone. I wish I could say it's a good morning, but it's actually not. It's very challenging because we are confronting something in the United States of America, and we have to confront this now. The United States of America is building concentration camps. We have to stop using language that suggests anything different. The United States of America is building concentration camps. They are building them in warehouses designed to hold packages. Right now, there are 70,000 people locked up in 225 facilities across the United States of America, and this administration is planning to more than double that capacity using $55 billion. The Pentagon is quietly building this detention network. They're using military logistics to do it, and there's $45 billion in additional funding. This is infrastructure money. They're building capacity for long-haul detention and detainment facilities, massive warehouses to house human beings, to store human beings. These are not facilities designed to have 7,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 people. So let me ask you one question. If they're not designed to house and safely, I guess, care for these people, what are they planning to do? ICE regularly refuses access to congressional representatives and attorneys seeking to conduct legal oversight. And by the way, let me remind you, Germany's concentration camps did not start as death camps. They started in Dachau in 1932 as detention facilities for communists, socialists, union leaders, and political opponents. By the end of the first year, there were 70 camps operating across Germany. There are 255 detention facilities already in America, and they are buying commercial warehouses. I saw a story about one that was going in Mississippi, where the total population of the warehouse, the building in Mississippi, was going to be 2 times the residential population of the neighboring and adjacent community. We have to stop pretending that these are anything other than American concentration camps, because that is exactly what they are. The worst of it is here now. And if you're waiting for someone else to do something about it, you are in fact part of the problem. And if there's any illusion, let me get you to the next story. I'm sure you've seen this by now, but the President of the United States posted a video on his Truth Social platform depicting Michelle and Barack Obama as apes. Not metaphorically, literally superimposed onto cartoon primates, dancing to The Lion Sleeps Tonight. It was up a full 12 hours. Depicting black people as apes is not political commentary. It is not a meme. It is a dehumanization tactic that has been used to justify slavery, lynching, and genocide for centuries. And the President of the United States of America posted that while they are building detention facilities to house human beings. Any one of these stories is an outrage, but it is a cumulative outrage, growing, festering like a sore, like a disease. The racism, the hatred, the xenophobia, the ethnocentrism, it is festering like a disease growing. And the disease is growing like some kind of hatred yeast. This is why they're building these camps, because they can't contain it all. We have to stop pretending that this is anything other than what it is. Because if we pretend, these little content creators out there, they sit and they say, the president can't do that. The president can't do this. This is illegal. They can't do this. They can't stop the midterms. They can't do this. The office of the president of the United States means something. Whether it means what you want it to mean, whether it has been deteriorated and destroyed, that's another conversation. But it is still an office. The president of the United States is the chief executive officer of your country. This is your country too. Barack Obama was the president of the United States of America. He was the duly elected president. It is not his fault that he had a, by all accounts, successful and happy marriage. Wasn't married 3, 4, 5 times. That he had that he was a constitutional lawyer. That while certainly he failed to live up to his promises of hope, he achieved actual change that gave you more rights. You had more rights at the end of his term than you do now. And you had more rights than you did at the beginning of Barack Obama's term. And this isn't a pro-Barack Obama show. That's not my point. The point is the sitting president posted it's not even racist. This goes beyond racism. The point is, if you can't figure out the point yet, if he can do that to the former most powerful man in the world, a former president, he can do that to you, and he will do that to you. He will. And it's not just politics. It's not just words. It's the roof over your head. Let me get on to the next story, everybody. I told you, I'm sorry if it's grim today, but the reality is we have to get off of our asses and do something about this. Because if it's not your politics, it's coming for your jobs. Our next story, welcome to the Ignition News, everyone. It's about AI. Let's talk about the future that these tech oligarchs are building. AI is coming for our jobs, not just factory jobs, not service jobs, white-collar jobs, professional jobs, jobs you spent years training for. McKinsey itself says 45% of American jobs could be automated by AI in the next 20 years. Goldman Sachs predicts 6 to 7% displaced by 2030, which would push unemployment to 12%. For reference, unemployment during the Great Recession peaked at 10%. And jobs that are getting hit hardest are some of the best paying jobs in America. High-skilled, high-wage jobs. They are being decimated. They're already being decimated. These billionaires are using your tax dollars to build the infrastructure in your backyard to build AI data centers, which are polluting your planet. It is falsely propping up the economy. And when they're done with all of this, just to be successful, just to justify their massive infrastructure investment, they're going to have to displace a minimum of 10 million jobs. 10 million jobs. And that is just to break even for their massive infrastructure investment. So we, the working class, we have to do all of these things all at once. We have to fight against this horrible festering rot in our federal government. We have to fight against AI coming for our jobs. We have to try to save and protect our elections if we have any hope left at all. Let's be honest about who's really pushing this. The same people who are going to make trillions of dollars from AI are already people who have squeezed the working class to near exhaustion. You know that it's difficult. You know that it's increasingly harder and harder and harder to pay your bills, to buy groceries, to feed your family. They've already choked us. They don't want you washing their dishes. They don't want you preparing their food. They don't want you driving them. They don't want you doing their taxes. They don't want you checking them out at the grocery store. They don't want you cleaning their houses. They don't want you cleaning their bathrooms. The minute they can replace you with a robot or with an AI, they will replace you with a robot. And they already have amassed so much wealth. A few families in this planet, this globe of ours, have amassed enough wealth that even if the rest of us are displaced and destroyed, even if we're living on dust and dirt, they will be fine for generations and generations and generations until this planet is finally destroyed because of everything they've done to destroy it. But they will live in increasingly smaller and more luxurious places as that happens, while you and I are forced out of our homes onto the streets. If you think Congress is going to tax this or fix this or solve this, Congress is run by a bunch of people that can't figure out how to fix their Facebook password when it locks up. They have no idea. And they're being sold a bill of lies. If you want a little bit of good news, let me tell you some good news. Greg Bovino was in Las Vegas on January 30th after he got kicked out of Minneapolis. I just verified this story independently. He was seen at the Bottled Blonde. It's a bar at the Cosmopolitan. And they kicked him out. They kicked him out of the bar. Do you know why? Because that's what community is. We talk about community all of the time. Can you imagine the pressure that they had to face making that decision? when the head of ICE, responsible for the operation that killed Alex Preddy and Renee Good, when that man walked into a bar in Las Vegas with all of the national attention essentially surrounding him, they had to decide what they had to do, not just for their customers, not just for their community, but for their employees, many of whom that same Bovino would probably have pulled out of that place, put in a van, and shipped off to some detention center that they're building right now. And do you know what they did? They kicked him out. They said, "You're no longer welcome here." That is what we have to start doing. We have to start closing off the spaces and places for these people. We have to start protecting our communities because they are coming for us, whether that is politically, whether that is ICE taking you to a warehouse. You don't think they will put you in that warehouse? They are already arresting American citizens. You're foolish if you think that. You're foolish if you think that the same Bovino wouldn't put you in a warehouse for holding up a sign. You are foolish if you think that's not the case. And that bar, Bottled Blonde in Las Vegas, this administration targets people like that. It targets businesses like that. It puts the full force and weight of the United States federal government down on people, their backs, their shoulders, and their weight. And they kicked him out anyway. They said, "You're not welcome here. You need to leave. You're not welcome back." Can you imagine the pressure? Can you imagine the pressure of that? That is called having a steel spine. That is called doing the right thing. The right thing is never easy. You can stand up for your community. So you've got an administration building concentration camps. You've got a president posting racist videos of Barack Obama. You've got a coordinated effort from Steve Bannon to delegitimize the election, to put ICE people outside of polling places. You've got tech billionaires promising to, make your life easier with this AI, right? ChatGPT, go make a picture of a cat in a race car. It's cute. This is 5 different problems with one thing. It's one system. A system where the law does not apply to the powerful, where the law protects the wealthy but does not govern them, and where the law governs you but does not protect you. ICE is building enough detention facilities to lock up anyone that they deem to be a problem. They have already maxed out their capacity to deport people. This is not about deportation anymore. If no one else is willing to recognize this, if no one else is willing to tell you this truth, that is the truth. The only thing that stops this is collective resistance. Not institutions, not politicians, not waiting for someone else to fix it. The only thing that stops this is collective resistance. Your leaders have to prohibit these buildings from being put up. One of our community members I saw went to their city council. And they stood up before these cowards on their city council and they said, "What are you going to do if they try to take," he said, "There's a warehouse." Shout out, by the way. He said, "What are you going to do if they try to put a concentration camp in that warehouse?" And he put them on record for history. Collective resistance. If every one of you did that, if every one of you went to your city leaders and you said, "What are you going to do when they try to build a concentration camp here?" Do you know what they did in Germany? They put their heads down. "Oh, don't cause trouble. I'm sure it's nothing bad. I'm sure that's just for the bad people. I'm sure those trains just hold bad people. They're just temporary. The trains, they take them there just so they can take them somewhere else. Out of sight, out of mind." "Oh, did you hear they took John, my neighbor?" "No, that's a rumor." "They would never. He's a United States citizen. He has rights. They can't do that." Collective resistance, our only toolkit. If you're waiting for someone else to do something about this, you're part of the problem. It's 2626 today, January 26th. February 26th, my God. If a bar in Las Vegas can kick out Greg Bovino, if one of our community members can go stand up with the courage of George Washington crossing the Delaware and put his city council on the spot, you can do it too. Stop waiting for someone to come and save you. No one is going to come and save you. You have to save your own community, or there's a spot in that warehouse for you too. This is the Ignition News, everybody. It's February 26th, 2026. Don't take this message as despair. Take this message, if you hear it, if it resonates with you, take this message as an indication that you are still alive, that you still have ration, reason, and self-governance, that you are not a fool manipulated by a billionaire, a racist president, a system designed to suppress you. Today you are alive. Your heart beats. Your resistance is strong. I'll see you tomorrow. This has been today's episode of The Ignition News. Please consider following us on all of your favorite podcast platforms, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, or Substack. We're here to deliver to you unfiltered, uncensored news. Let's get busy with the truth on The Ignition News.